Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Some call it the Super Bowl of politics in the United States, a notion that would not be lost on the 81-year-old incumbent as he seeks re-election, trailing in the polls, while mentioning his predecessor and main political rival 13 times during his speech, including in relation to the attack on Congress in January 2021.
Many of you are here on that darkest of days. We all saw with our own eyes the insurrectionists were not patriots. They'd come to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to overturn the will of the people. January 6th lies about the 2020 election and the plots to steal the election posed a gravest threat to U.S. democracy since the Civil War. My predecessor and some of you here seek to bury the truth about January 6th. I will not do that. This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies. Here's the simple truth. You can't love your country only when you win.
Biden cast Trump without once mentioning his name as a threat to democracy both at home and in Europe. He implored the Republican-controlled House of Representatives to pass a multi-billion-dollar funding bill for Ukraine that has already passed the Senate. Similarly, to pass bipartisan legislation to secure the southern border that is currently being blocked by Trump allies who seek to prevent Biden from scoring a political win in an election year. As the president touted the economic progress made since the COVID-19 pandemic, while placing abortion and reproductive rights front and center. This after the Supreme Court overturned the federal right to abortion in June of 2022, blaming Trump for its demise.
There are state laws banning the freedom to choose, criminalizing doctors, forcing survivors of rape and incest to leave their states to get the treatment they need. Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass a national ban on reproductive freedom. My God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, it's a decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court majority wrote the following, and with all due respect, justices, women are not without electoral power. Electoral or political power. You're about to realize just how much you were right about.
On Gaza, he announced that he was directing engineers in the U.S. military to build a temporary pier in the Mediterranean Sea on the Gaza coast that could receive large ships carrying humanitarian supplies for aid-starved Palestinians.
And Israel must do its part. Israel must allow more aid into Gaza to ensure humanitarian workers aren't caught in the crossfire. To the leadership of Israel, I say this. Humanitarian assistance cannot be a secondary consideration or a bargaining chip. Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority. As we look to the future, the only real solution to the situation is a two-state solution over time.
Despite the more pointed tone towards Israel, he affirmed its right to self-defense, while arguing that Hamas could end the conflict today by releasing all the hostages, laying down arms, and surrendering those responsible for the October 7th attack.
This war has taken a greater toll on innocent civilians than all previous wars in Gaza combined. More than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed, most of whom are not Hamas. Thousands and thousands of innocent women and children, girls and boys, also orphaned. Nearly 2 million more Palestinians under bombardment or displacement. Homes destroyed, neighborhoods in rubble, cities in ruin. Families without food, water, medicine. It's heartbreaking. I've been working nonstop to establish an immediate ceasefire that would last for 6 weeks to get all the prisoners released, all the hostages released, to get the hostages home and ease the intolerable and humanitarian crisis and build toward something more enduring.
And then the elephant in the room, Biden's age.
The issue facing our nation isn't how old we are, it's how old are our ideas. Hate, anger, revenge, retribution are the oldest of ideas. But you can't lead America with ancient ideas that only take us back. You lead America, the land of possibilities. You need a vision for the future and what can and should be done. Tonight you've heard mine.
kicking off what promises to be a brutal re-election campaign against the man who preceded Biden in the White House and hopes to replace him this November. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.